Hello and welcome to week 3 of English 079. And we are getting started with this week we're going to be looking at reading and writing processes. So as you know, any kind of experience that you've had with writing and reading at the academic level, the two go hand in hand. So this week we're really going to focus in on how reading really helps you become a stronger writer. So as we do in every single week, you're going to be starting in the week 3 lecture, and it's going to go over an introduction of the reading and writing processes. So you just click right here. Of course, if you remember from weeks 1 and 2, there are some interactive activities in there and some self-checks. So I highly recommend that you spend some time going through the lecture because it really is going to set up all the activities that we're going to be doing the rest of this week. And the other thing that you can also have is there is a document here that you can open. Some people like to have that open. You can take notes on it. If you have printing capabilities, you can do that as well. So you have two different ways to view this week's lecture. So as we do every single week, we have a discussion board. And just as a reminder, the discussion board starts really with after you've read the lecture, after you've read the writing prompt here that everyone's going to be answering. Then the first thing that you're going to be doing is creating an initial post. Okay, so this week your initial post is going to address the following. Explain in complete sentences, at least 2 for each step, why you would like to work on both of these steps. As a refresher, here are the steps for both processes. When you read through this week's lecture, it's going to go over the SQ3R, which is survey, skim, question, query, read, recite, and recall. And then the writing process is pre-writing, drafting, and revision. So you're going to just give an explanation on what are the things that you would like to work on for these two things. So that is going to be your initial post. And remember, those are going to be about 150 words, which is a pretty good, healthy paragraph, usually about 5 to 7 pages. So I want to show you something real quick. I did this last week, and I have it ready for this week. I give you an example of what I'm looking for. So, so that way you can be able to get maximum credit for this assignment. So if you click on here, you'll see the very first thing is my discussion post, and it gives you an example of what you want to talk about. Okay, so here I'm telling you, here's the example, because you're going to be covering a step from each of the process, the reading process and the writing process. Talks about the lecture info, and you're going to include some past experience. So these two paragraphs are what we're looking for, or what I'm looking for an example for this initial post, just these two right here. Okay, so let's get back to week 3. So once you have put in your initial post, then you're going to go back and respond to your peers, or you can respond to anything that I've written as well. So we want this to be an active discussion. We really highly encourage everyone to submit that initial post by Wednesday, so that way the rest of the week we can really focus in on answering questions and commenting back and forth, so it makes for an interactive discussion post. So you need to have all of those things in there, the initial post, which is 150 words, and it's answering these questions here. And then you're going to respond to at least 3 other posts, and you're going to be active on 3 different days for that, so you get 100% of the points, and that's the goal for you to do that. All right, so we have another writing assignment, and this is a note-taking and comprehension assessment. So the assignment is actually going to be right here, this note-taking and comprehension assessment. So you're going to open this document, and I have it open here, and I'll show you here in a second. And then when you finish that document, you're going to upload it to this one here where it says click here to submit. So I already have it pulled up just to kind of save time since I'm videoing it. So this is what your document will look like. You will pull this up, and of course everybody has Microsoft Word or Microsoft 365, which has Word in that. So this will open up, and you can go ahead and take your notes right on this document. So of course you would want to save as and save it to either your OneDrive here at Bryant and Stratton, or depending on your computer, if you want to save it to a folder. If you can see here, I have multiple folders here. So in that way, and a lot of times what I tell people to do is save as, and then you can put like your last name on there so you know, so you can be able to find it. All right, so this assessment is due at the end of week 3. So you're going to be doing 2 different things. You're going to practice taking notes on 2 different types of media presentation, a text presentation and a video. So here is the link for this 6-minute presentation by Angela Duckworth, and she defines and gives examples of the term grit. So if you notice here, as if I kind of hover over this blue hyperlink, then if I push the control button on my computer and then use my mouse to click it, it'll open this video. And let's see, hopefully it'll open it. It might open it on my other screen. Nope, it's going to open it right here. So you're going to watch this video and you're going to be taking notes on the document. I don't want to get this started because this is what you're going to be working on. So let's go back to this document. So as you watch the video, you're going to take notes on the major points of the presentation. Make sure to include at least 3 major points that make up Duckworth's definition of the term. Remember, her term is grit. Grit, the power of passion and perseverance. Your notes do not need to be neat or in complete sentences, but try to use one of the note-taking methods that that you learned about in the week 3 lecture. So you can just start typing, and the video shows, and then you would just start typing your thing. So you would have at least 3 major points, and then the second point would be oops. And then the third point, you can do something like that. It doesn't have to be this way. You can be a little bit more creative, but you would want to have the 3 different points on here as you learn from the video. All right, because you're taking notes. You want to be able to, when we watch something, you want to be able to remember it, and that's how we do it, is by taking notes. Okay, so the second thing you're going to do for this assignment is you're going to read a document. So same thing, you're going to click and hit Control, and then this document is going to open in up here in your browser. So then you're going to be able to read this. So same concept, you're going to be taking notes, but instead of watching video, you're actually going to be reading this. So you can put it right on here, record your notes below. This article states, then you're going to be having 3 different points, second and third. Again, you don't have to write it just like that, but if it helps you to remember to have the 3 points, then you can do that. So then the last thing you're going to do is kind of really thinking about what you just did, because sometimes you take notes, it's like, okay, we got to really think about that. So you're going to compare your notes from the video and the article and answer the following questions below. Did you find it easier to take notes in the video or the article, or did you find it was the same difficulty for both? So then you have some space under here. So each of these bullet points need to be answered, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4 different things. So you would have at least 4 different sentences under here. So the other part that you want to be able to look at is the rubric. This is what I use to grade this assignment. So obviously you want to be over here and exceeds expectations. Did you cover the 3 main points for the video? Did you cover the 3 main points for the article? And did you respond to, or did you complete the response questions? They are answered and they give details for those. So you want to hit all of these points to be able to earn the maximum points. All right, so let's head back to the class so we can see what else we have. So once you finish that Word document, it's going to be uploaded in here. And if you look back at week 2 in the announcements, there's a step-by-step video on how to upload Word documents for those of you who may have struggled with that. Then the last thing, this week is a little unusual because we actually have 3 assignments. Most week we only have 2, but this one, I tell you, is pretty easy because this is a check-in. So believe it or not, the end of week 3 is really our halfway point through this course. So for many of you, this has been the first time in a long time you've taken a class. So I want to just kind of if you just give me an idea of what how you're feeling about the course. You know, you're feeling excited, you're feeling nervous, frustrated. So it's just a way to be able to communicate with me, and I'll read it and communicate back with you. All right, so we have 3 assignments for the week 3. All right, so looking forward to working with you this week, and I will see you in class.